We have this image of a coder who works alone, and it might actually affect on that how attractive we think the positions in IT might be. And it's also often really hard to understand different kind of positions in IT and how we actually work on this industry. And as you know, this event is held at Prella platform, and since Prella is our partner, so it's really easy to give you a concrete example of a product and its development, how problems have been solved and what has developed or designed in this product. So let's have a small discussion about the Prella and this platform and your work, and let's start with you, who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm the visual designer at Brella. And at Brella, I help with visual design for the marketing team and also the product team.
Thank you for being here. And you?
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I am a front-end developer at Brella, which means that most of the stuff what you see on Brella, or all of the stuff what you see on the Brella platform, that's the front end. So I am working with those buttons and icons what you see there, and I got the instruction for Lily that what I need to do, and after I am done with the task, I give it to Krista.
Yeah, hi, I'm Krista, QA, quality specialist at Brella, and yeah, when something is ready, or the developer thinks it's ready, I do my best to break it, so that when it finally reaches the customer, then we can make sure that it is hopefully bug-free.
Okay, so let's get to the point. Could you give us a concrete example of what kind of problems you have solved in your job?
Okay. So at Brella, we always focus on making the product more streamlined and easier to use for the user. And one of the things that I did when I first joined Brella was to redesign the people tab, which is where you can find all the people's profiles and network with them. So that was my most recent project.
So we did have an update recently,
yes.
And the visual layout and stuff is from your...
Yes, the visual, the new layout was my design.
It was amazing, surprised to see that. I really liked that.
Thank you.
You, please tell.
Unfortunately, I wasn't working on the people tab, but one of my first tasks when I started at Brella was to a bit update the profile setup flow. When you join to a new event, you have the possibility to set up your availabilities and interest and intent preferences. And what I got as a task is that super easy, just if you have an interest selected, there's just add a small check mark before the name of the interest. And it was a really nice task because it doesn't require backend help, because it was only visuals, and my task is focusing only on the visuals. So everything which is related with data and data management, that's stuff which I don't touch very often, only the visuals. So this check mark and that buttons, where is it enabled, disabled, how can user click on it and how not. So that was one of my first tasks at Brella.
Mm-hmm.
And for the audience, this is a really good time to give feedback for the Prella and its workers. There's a virtual stand for the Prella, and so if you have some kind of really nice concrete ideas how to improve this experience here, Prella said that they are happy to hear your experiences. But Krista,
yeah,
you are breaking things.
I am breaking things, and yeah, until a couple of months ago, I was the only QA at Brella, so I have touched pretty much everything that is there. But one of the recent, maybe bigger changes that everybody has seen is the login. So we changed to passwordless authentication, and I was testing that, and that was quite intense testing on all platforms and all scenarios.
I've seen a lot of women in testing for some reason. It sounds really interesting, and I actually find it quite interesting, and I would see myself in it there.
It's a lot of fun for sure.
Fun
I
breaking
mean, yes, you get to break things, and it's not only that we also write automated tests, so a little bit of coding involved, and a lot of different kinds of tasks. It doesn't get boring.
Yeah, and that's on earlier presentation we heard many times that this is the industry where you can make mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's okay to learn from the mistakes.
Exactly.
And there's actually positions to make those mistakes and break things.
Yeah.
And it's so delightful. Let's go for breaking more stereotypes. We are working in a product teams, and we would like to hear more about this teamwork and how to make teamwork actually work. Lily, could you tell us what kind of product teams do you have and how you actually work within those teams?
Yeah, so at Brella, the product team, we are divided into smaller teams called squads, and each squads are responsible for certain areas of the product. For example, my squad is responsible for content, which means like schedule and stream, and also sponsors. And within the squad, we work really closely together dailies, communicate and everything dailies. But then on a higher level, we have 2 times per month having this product demo, where we all the squads come together and we show everyone also in the company like how our progress and how the how the progress has been going.
Yeah. Could you tell to our audience that what is dailies?
Oh yes. So the dailies are just really short meetings every day. It depends on each squad as well. For example, my squad only have 3 times per week, but the goal is to the meetings are really short, around 15 minutes, and the goal is to just check in how everyone is doing, if there are anything that they need help with, just to make sure that the production going smoothly. Yeah.
So the stereotype of a male coding in somewhere basement alone 24/7, it's not true.
That is not true at all. So in the squad, we would work closely, like designers, developers, and also QA working really closely together. And we do not do the like alone in the basement thing.
That's a relief. And would you say that communication skills is needed actually?
I would say yeah. I think the most important thing is to find a way to communicate with each other. Doesn't mean that everyone has to have the perfect communication skills, but if we find the correct way to communicate with each other, for example, as I said, like our squad prefer to only have 3 times per week, and that totally works too. I think it depends on everyone. Yeah.
So you can be truly yourself. So if you hate people and speaking, that's okay. But if you also would like to work with the teams and you like to communicate, you'll find your place and way.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's good. So more about the teamwork and working between different roles. You all are from the different roles and from the different part of the development, but Krista and Sara, how does teamwork work between different roles, and what opportunities does this have when you actually work together and in different positions?
Yeah, we have worked together a lot, actually, the two of us, doing both ways. So we have been writing tests together, and also we have been, like I have been testing while Sara is still developing before the feature is actually ready. And I think it's a great opportunity to learn from each other and to really understand what are all the requirements, rather than one person doing something ready, the other person taking it as a whole package. We can adjust on the way.
Yeah.
Especially since usually designer starts the project and the designer has the best knowledge. Why was that feature designed in that way? Because the designer is the one who communicates more with sales or customer success to design that feature, and then it lands on the front end and back end developer table, and we start to work on it. But of course, we don't think to every possible scenario how it could be broken. So that's when Krista comes. Yeah. Or sometimes I, for example, can have a really narrow mindset that I develop a feature and I know that it should work in this way, and I don't think about those scenarios. But what if you don't do that?
Yeah.
What if you don't have that knowledge?
And if it comes to me only after it's already done from Sara's side, and then I notice something like this, that okay, but what if I do this? It might be that we need to change fundamentally something like that takes a lot of time to change at that point. That could have been easier if we worked together already from the beginning.
Yeah, but it also sounds that it's really nice to have somebody, because I don't need to know everything, because there's a people who knows a shitload of stuff that I don't need to learn if I don't want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Do you ask help? How you say? Is it okay to say I don't understand? Could you please explain me? How you communicate about those things in teams or with the leaders? Is it simple?
It's simple in a way that we have a really secure environment, in a way that it's allowed to ask questions. It's encouraged to ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, then how you are expected to solve issues. So it's important that immediately, as you have any question, just ask it, and somebody will answer it. Or if nobody knows the answers, then it's a big issue.
Yeah.
And it's not your responsibility to solve it.
Yeah. Because there's a lots of questions for us about when I'm ready to join this industry, or do I need to learn everything? And this actually gives once again relief on that you don't need to know everything. We just need to cut on the huoneen taulu to say that ask questions, ask help. And it's really good that you mentioned the secure environment. So I think you're feeling at your place.
Yeah.
And it helps you to work even better.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Definitely.
You learn something new every day. Just ask.
So there's a lot of responsibility for the leaders and company owners to create these safe environments. So it's not not all the pressure is not only for the workers, but especially for the leaders, team leaders and company owners. Team supporting. So, oh yes, we are talking about the team leaders and managers. You have a team members, but how in your company your managers and team leaders support your work? What you need from the managers and what do you actually get? And please be honest on this, Lily.
Yeah. So I think what I've noticed is that Brella really focuses on individuals' development.
Yeah.
So we have these 2 times per year development talks where we would discuss like one-on-one about what we want to achieve, and also come out with like an action plan, like a concrete action plan how to achieve that.
Yeah.
And I think that is really important for me, because I always want to grow within the job that I have, and I think that is excellent that Brella has this development talks. And also on top of that, we also have like weekly one-on-one call with the team lead. It's just like a more casual chat, but it's also to check in and to help like how to see how this action plan is going and how is my development is going. So I think those are the things that really help with the development and the success of my work. Yeah.
That's really nice to hear because I'm way older than you, and on that time when I was working on different kind of positions, leaders were always some kind of persons that we didn't never see. Or they never ask how we are feeling or how can we do our work better. But I think the times have changed even.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same as Lily?
Yes. These development discussions are really really helpful because you are free to express your feelings of where you at in your career at the moment and what's your plan for the future. You don't really need to stay in one niche area. You can grow career wise. So it's really nice.
Yeah. I had so many questions, but you have already answered to all my questions because I wanted to talk about a lot of about this learning. But you already said that you enjoy the learning, and on your workplace and your teamwork, you are constantly learning, and you have a space for that. It's a part of your job, actually.
And that is also supported by the management. If I say that I want to do this course within the next 6 months, they support that and will actually check up, like, hey, how's it going? Did you start? Do you need something to actually reach your goal?
Yeah, and it's actually, it would be, it's really hard to see that leaders would say no when somebody wants to learn something new, because it's actually benefiting the product development all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You seem so happy. I'm really sure that our audience don't believe this because you are way too happy on this. Is it always joy and happiness, and don't you have any hard points on your work? Do you fail?
Of course, I think nothing is all joy and happy, but I think like because at Brella they create a secure environment to fail, so that when I didn't do something the perfect way, then I don't feel too bad, and I can consider that as a learning opportunity.
I love that. It's safe to fail, and it's a learning opportunity. Do you feel the same?
Yes.
Do you fail?
I fail often and hard, but that's that's because of Krista, because she breaks my stuff.
She's breaking everything.
Yes, but one other aspect what we have in Brella, and it's quite common to have in IT industry, that whenever I submit a code for reviewing, one person who has similar-ish background with me, so another front-end developer will also review my code.
Yeah.
And in this way, we can feedback for each other, or if somebody reviews my code, then he or she gives feedback to me that this was a good job, but you could do it even better if you just change this tiny bit of a code. So there is a constant feedback of what you do and how you progress, and learning from each other.
Yeah. So the teamwork is not only the teamwork, but it's learning once again.
Yeah.
We have implemented the same with the end-to-end tests now, that we ask a front-end developer also for code review, because the tests are basically JavaScript, so we can learn a lot from the front-end developers code-wise.
But if you are breaking everybody else's code and work, what kind of support you get from the team?
Well, I think for me, what is important from the team is the communication, to get all the information of what this thing is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then I can either figure out or get the information of what it's not supposed to do. and then, do my best to break it.
I can't stop laughing on that.
Sometimes I miss something, that happens as well. And then I make sure to either write an automated test for that scenario so I don't miss it again, or I take a note that I need to check this thing. So also learning from my mistakes.
That's nice. That sounds so amazing. We have talked about a little about this safety. And this is really stupid question at this point, but we are talking about lots of company culture. What is company culture actually? What you are waiting it to be? Let's go with you. Is it the safety?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. The company culture that I'm always looking for is like a supportive
Yeah.
environment, and definitely it goes hand in hand with the safety. What else? I think also like an environment that encourages you to learn and to like one of the Brella's value said is like boldly exploring beyond the trail. So it's like always encourage learning and doing something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lack of talents at this point. The skilled people like you can always choose the place where to go to work. So I think the company culture is important because you choose the company doesn't choose you.
Yeah.
What do you appreciate about company culture?
I like the open communication and the amazing amount of positive feedbacks. I can say for myself, but I don't know what's your opinion. When I first joined Brella, 90% of the Brellaniers, so the employees of the company, connected me on LinkedIn and sent me a message. Hey, we are so happy that you are joining. And I came on the first day that, oh wow, what's happening? Why everybody is so happy and cheering? And there is in the company culture, we have this thing that's high five land. There you can praise your colleagues company-wide, and everybody sees that somebody did something great, and it's always nice to just read that channel that because I don't work outside of the product team quite often, not at all, to be honest. So I don't really have any connection with sales or customer support or anybody who is facing with the customers. So I don't know what's outside of the product. So seeing that what other people are doing and how great they are, that's always amazing.
Yeah.
Also like the high five channel, that it's not something that it has to be something amazing and great that happened. It can be a small thing, and you can write there and just literally give a high five.
I just got a little hint that we are losing our time, and I actually I was afraid of this because I would like to talk with you like the whole day, but we are making the decisions that we are going a little bit over time now for the production company. Let's steal for the couple of minutes. There's a lot of different kind of IT houses or working places. Let's go briefly through what are the differences between working in a product company or working as a consultant? Do you have any experience on that?
Lily does.
Lily, please tell us.
I personally have some experience on that. I think the biggest differences are the length of the project, I mean time-wise, the scope of the problem, and the impact. So with the product company, I think you have a much bigger problem, but also at the same time you have much more impact, and then you also have the ability, the time to continuously maintaining and improving the product. But then with a consultancy, the scope is smaller, the impact is also smaller, in my opinion, since you can't really like carry it through like or until like way after the project. But then also the timeline is shorter, but then it also a matter of like you have to have this ability to come up to things, new things really quickly because you start every new project like every few months. So I think those are the biggest differences. And for me, I think I like working in a product company because it's, for me, it's like because of the high impact, I feel like I have more ownership of my work.
And there's one word, ownership. Krista and Sara, could you shortly tell us how you feel about the ownership when you are working on a product company? How it feels? What it is?
As I mentioned, I used to be the only QA, so I started in the beginning of the year, and there was no end-to-end automation at all at Brella. And that was one of the things I needed to do when I joined the company, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to join Brella, because I really love end-to-end automation and I do love a challenge. But that was also then completely my responsibility, from picking the platform, what we are going to use, or the framework, and how we are going to do what are we going to do, what are we going to automate, and what are the timelines and all of this. So it was a challenge, but it was also very exciting, and I have learned so much while doing this. Had to Google things because some of the things we didn't have the knowledge in the company, and then I found external communities with even more knowledge. So it's been an amazing journey. I think it's great. And when you have the responsibility, then you also make sure that it happens and you can make decisions. You don't have to wait for somebody else to confirm something that they might not even really know so much about. So in that sense, I think it makes things more efficient when you do give responsibility to people.
So it's exciting but really scary?
Yes and no. I mean, it's scary, but not terribly scary. I mean, exploring new stuff, it's always interesting, and it's more interesting than scary. So
that's good. So sorry for the time that I steal from the next speaker, but shortly, please, Lili, Krista, and Sara, tell to our audience why IT and why they should also join us here.
Krista.
I mean,
Krista, please.
Why IT? I ended up in IT a little bit by coincidence, actually. Somebody sent me a job opening for a quality specialist. I didn't really know what it means, so I Googled, checked, okay, this is what it means, and it sounded really interesting. So I applied, I got the position, and almost 10 years later, here I am, super happy about that, just taking the leap.
Sara, why IT and why others should join us?
Why others should join us? Because it's amazing. I think that's the best job what you can do. I mean, every day is a challenge. How you solve issues, and it's always a constant positive feedback that I was great, it's delivered, customer can see it, and they are sending a lot of love. But my career path was a bit more linear. I came from a IT/engineering family, and I decided at the age of 16 that I will go to computer science degree. So I was good always with math and logical thinking, and terrible with grammar and languages. So that was the main reason why I decided, and I am really happy with my decision.
Is it amazing? Is it IT amazing?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I think it's amazing. And like Sarah said, you have a lot of chances to learn because the industry just keeps moving. It's a bit scary to think about it, but then it's also at the same time a lot of opportunity to learn because it's just changing all the time. For me, I went to Finland to study business, but then I started learning about design, and so I started from graphic design, more like a print media design, and then I just found my way to like a more digital design, and I really like it.
Thank you for the insight. IT is amazing.